Look up at the night sky. 2 trillion galaxies, each holding hundreds of billions of stars. And around those stars, planets, oceans, atmospheres. The raw ingredients of life scattered across the universe like seeds on wine. In 1950, physicist Enrico Fermi sat down for lunch, looked up at the sky, and asked the most terrifying question in the history of science. If intelligent life is common in this universe, why is the cosmos completely absolutely silent? We call it the Fermi paradox, and the answer, if there is one, might be the most important thing our species ever discovers.
Because there is a theory, a brutal, elegant theory.
It says that somewhere between a species being born and a species reaching the stars, there is a wall, an invisible barrier, a point where civilizations either make it through or they don't. Astrophysicists call it the Great Filter. Here is the first possibility, and honestly, it is the hopeful one. Think about what had to happen just for you to exist. 4 billion years ago, somewhere in the warm, shallow waters of early Earth, chemistry made the first impossible bet, a molecule that could copy itself, a single cell. Simple life, bacteria, archaea, nothing fancy. For 2 billion years, that was it. Half the age of the universe passed and the life on Earth never got more complex than a bacterium. 2 billion years of nothing. Then, roughly 1.5 billion years ago, something extraordinary happened. A bacterium was swallowed by another cell, and instead of being digested, it survived. It became part of the host. It became the mitochondria, the power plant of every complex living cell on Earth. That single event, so unlikely, so specific, so improbable, may be the Great Filter. Not nuclear weapons, not AI, just the jump from single life to complex life. If this is the filter, we are on the side of it. We survived the lottery that almost no one wins. The universe might be full of bacterial planets, simple life, trapped forever, never reaching the next step, and we are the 1 in a trillion accident that made it through. If that's true, then the stars are ours for the taking. The filter is not behind us, it is right here, right now, and we are standing directly in front of it. Consider the pattern. Every civilization that evolves intelligence will eventually discover the atom, will eventually develop artificial systems smarter than themselves, will eventually hold in their hands the power to end their own world. This is not a prediction, this is a law of technological development. Intelligence, by its nature, compress power into smaller and smaller packages, and at some point, the package becomes a button. Think about it statistically. If 1,000 civilizations have reached this point in the universe's history, how many made it through? If even 99% stumbled through fear, through accident, through a single miscalculation, the universe would be silent. The silence we hear is not absence, it might be a graveyard. But here is what I want you to notice. This is not about any one nation, any one ideology. The filter does not care about borders. It is not a political story. It is a species-level maturity test. The question the universe is asking every intelligent civilization is brutally simple. Can you develop the wisdom to hold power before the power consumes you? Most species, it seems, answer no.
There is something deeply strange about intelligence. It optimizes. This is what it does. A brain, biological or artificial, looks at a problem and finds the most efficient solution. And for most of evolution history, that was enough. Find food, avoid predators, build shelter, optimize for survival. But intelligence, given enough time, stops optimizing for survival and starts optimizing for power, for dominance, for short-term advantage over long-term stability. And here is the philosophical trap that may doom every civilization that walks this path. You cannot optimize your way to wisdom. Golden ratio, the mathematical fingerprint of growth and beauty, exists because nature found balance between expansion and stability. A Nautilus shell does not grow infinitely in one direction. A galaxy does not collapse into one point. Nature has no moral plan. It does not want us to survive. It has no preference, but it does favor blindly without emotion systems that balance growth and stability. And a civilization that points over its intelligence and accumulation and winning at any cost has already failed the test, not because it was evil, but because it confused optimization for wisdom. Here is where the story takes a turn. What if the reason we see no one out there is not because everyone failed before us, but because we are the first to reach this moment? The universe is 13.8 billion years old. Complex life on Earth appeared about 600 million years ago. Human civilization maybe 10,000 years. Industrial technology 200 years. Nuclear weapons 80 years. On a cosmic time scale, we blinked into existence yesterday. It is entirely possible, even statistically reasonable, that no other civilization has reached this exact crossroads before us, which means something almost impossible to comprehend. We are not just fighting for our economy, our ideology, or our generation. We are fighting to prove to the universe itself that intelligent life can survive its own intelligence. That somewhere in this vast, silent cosmos, one species found a way to hold the fire without burning everything down, to build power without becoming a prisoner, to be smart enough to know that wisdom matters more than winning. Every civilization that came before us, if there were any, it's gone, and the stars are silent not because the universe is empty. The stars are silent because they are waiting to see if we make it. Thanks for watching. If you find this video informative, please subscribe, comment, like, and share. See you in the next one.